This is the Bar Stewards Enquiry.
Right? You're talking absolute rubbish. Absolute rubbish.
In what way?
You were an underachiever in life. I saved your bacon one time. You were gone.
You handled that well. I couldn't save you. But you did the right thing.
But that's why you don't know anything about racing, John.
I didn't say I do.
Right?
I'm saying that...
What have you contributed to racing? You're one of these take-out merchants. Take out all you can.
And a very warm welcome to the Bar Stewards Enquiry weekend podcast, where we're previewing Sandown's Eclipse meeting, the Old Newton Cup at Haydock, and we've got four of our crack team, or is it crap team, to go through the races this weekend, and with our best bets. Joining me tonight is John Lang. Good evening, John.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all right. The good darts chant. And Nick Davis, Zilzal 89. Good evening, Nick.
Good evening, Lee.
And last but not least, Quentin Franks. Good evening, Quentin.
Good evening, Lee.
Right, we've done the Waltons, so now it's time to get on with the show. And we've got our best bets to do before going through the televised races at both the feature meetings. And I've got a feeling it's competitive racing, but I've got a feeling we might have some big prices for our listeners tonight. So without further ado, I'm going to go to Nick straight away because Nick loves a price. Nick, what's your third best bet of the weekend?
Well, I've got a really, really big one here. It's in the 3-year-old 14 furlong handicap at Haydock. And I've gone for the one that's just had enough runs to get a mark and has got a tongue tie on, Ockhill House, for Gorgeous George. It's been going slightly up in trip each time, and it's got a mark. And the last time he was nearest at the finish there at Salisbury, and the tongue tie's gone on. I'm just thinking this is a massive price on work. It could be anything.
Yeah,
it's sort of 25-1, and it's in a valuable handicap after 3 runs just poodling around. And I just thought it was a massive price for an really up and coming trainer who's now making his mark.
Indeed, 25-1 available. So you're happy with that? That's with Bet Victor and Coral and Ladbrokes at the time of recording.
Yep, that'll do fine.
Yep, 1 point on the nose then for Nick Ockhill House. Lazy sort in the early stages, but certainly is interesting up in trip. Ray Dawson, good jockey booked. So an interesting call for Nick there, up in trip for Ockhill House. Like I say, could be anything. I sort of agree that it's difficult to get an angle of, but certainly lazy in the early stages if you watch his races. So Ockhill House for Nick, good start. 25's Pope to kick us off. I'll follow up then with my third best. It's one of John Joe's old fancies in the 225 at Sandown, Très Fleur of Mick Windmills. Did feel that this season's just not planned out for him, and some terrible placing. They've ran him at Windsor. They've ran him at Redcar in a slowly run race. Thirskunk Cup, he could never get going. And you look at some of last season's form, he won over this course and distance off 92. Held up, and SDS swinging wide on the bend and coming down the outside and getting up in a race. In fact, that's the only win for Mick Windmill at Sandown. So back to the scene of the crime. And I just thought, of 85, it's a sporting choice. Not saying it's a certainty or anything. I mean, this is a competitive handicap. But I thought 14-1 Très Fleur, generally available, was a decent bet. So Très Fleur for me to kick things off. So we've given you 25s and 14s. John, can you beat that?
No, I'm probably going to spoil it, actually. I went to the Humberside Gas Hall in the 440, under Fox. This one ran a belter, really, when it was a native debut. And then it was Toe-Cane when he'd gone up £2 for the second. So second time out. But there's quite a bit of pace on it, and I think they shall out and drop it. So there's like 3 front runners, and I think a midfield sit with him dropping the bit nicely should be ideal round here. Potential still off this mark. They also shown a will to win in the past. I've no concerns on attitude or anything like that. I think could come thundering up the hill tomorrow and nail the front runners. 1 point win.
9-2 with Bet365 in the 440 at Beverley. Denise Coates again, John. You seem to have an affinity with this firm.
Get them off, Denise.
So under Fox with Brian Ellison's jockey Ben Robinson in the saddle. Can that do it for John to get him off to a flyer for the weekend? Quentin, coming to you for your third best.
My third best Lee comes in the 6:30 at Nottingham, 5 furlong novice race, and the one that interests me is Gifted Angel. Dascombe's not had a winner yet this season since moving from where he was to where he is, but the horse caught the eye on debut for me in the paddock. Fat as butter, needed the run, faded out of things. Bit straighter on the 8th of June at Haydock. Lasted on the wing, faded, shaped like another step forward fitness wise, and another step back in trip would be beneficial. The form of that race looked solid enough. Reversion the seconds, came out and won since at Newcastle. Captain Winters ran a decent race at Haydock yesterday. In terms of the horses in the market, Estate, I'm not sure wants fast ground. He's got quite a choppy action. Stunt game, I think, needs 6 furlongs and not to drop back to 5. And you got 60s Chick, which won in a poor time at Bath a few weeks back. Second in that race was really small. Third in that race was really small, and then Palmer's was too green. I think that's poor form. 18-1 looks overpriced in a heat that's, I don't think, as deep as the numbers.
Interesting. 18-1 generally available for Gifted Angel for Quentin. That's an interesting. 120,000 guineas it cost. As a 2-year-old, very well related to Inverleigh and Satahi. Good horses. An interesting pick that. And Pierre Louis Jamin, the Jamaican. We're jamming. I hope you like jamming too. Yeah. Enough of that.
Don't give up the day job.
The Jamaican, that's one for the script. So Gifted Angel.
Bob Seger's got fuck all to worry about, hasn't he?
More vodka, bullshit.
Anyway, 18s for Quentin. So not bad there. 25s, 18s, 14s, and John letting the side down with his 9-2.
Just imagine if they did affordability checks at the off license.
We've been on about this the other day. I mean, it's like if someone measured my gin intake in a month, that would be definite grounds for bank statements. And definitely 100%. I mean, it's remarkable what times we're living in. But that's for another show. That's for a sermon, and we can certainly go to town. I mean, who can believe it? There's bloody Jacob Rees-Mogg holding the show up. Thankfully. I mean that idiot. But anyway, there we go. We live in very strange times. Okay, on to the second best bets. John, I'm going to come to you straight away for your second best, because I think you might be more excited now you're onto your 2-pointer.
In the spirit of continuing to spoil things, I'll chuck in a little anecdote here. I received a present this week from a very dear friend.
The mug.
Yeah, it was a mug with cunt written on it.
Who'd send you that?
I don't know. Always a nice touch, isn't it? And I think subconsciously I was looking for a race that was jam packed full of cunt, and I found it in the 5:45 at Beverley. And the one I'm siding with is Profound Alexander, who for me is up against 2 right cunts here. If he can't bust his duck against these, he probably needs a small piece of lead behind the left ear, to be honest. His form's as good as out on offer. He's probably best on the clock. He's got a decent draw. I just can't see him not going really, really close here. And I think he's solid in the context of this race. So he'll do for me 2 points.
Good stuff. Profound Alexander 9-4 again. You get the tone here, listeners. Who's this 9-4 with? Denise Coates. Yeah, so, something going on with John. There's an affiliate deal, I think in the offing here from John. He's not telling about it, but he's recommending all Bet365's prices.
I'm kidding her this time. I'm going to put some sand in the Vaseline.
Okay, I'm going to come to you now, Nick, for your second best.
Right, and I'm going to go with the last at Sandown. Dropping Mark plus a claimer having 5 off, I think King of Stars could go very close here. He didn't have no chance to lead at Epsom when first Living the Dream cut him off. Then T-Spirit come across. He didn't really like it. He sung. But on his previous run behind Russell, shows he's still a horse in form. And I think it's easier grade. A couple might go with him, but I don't think it's anywhere near the competition he had in Epsom. And he's back in a grade where he can win here. Back to 97, £5 claimer off. That means he's got to go close here in my view. And I think he's about 9-10 to 1.
12's with Denise Coates.
Oh, right. I have no access to Denise.
Doesn't matter. Our listeners do, and John Lane does. So that's 12 to 1. King of Stars, a good 4th in the Achilles. You make a good case there, Nick. Certainly, like you say, could not dominate last time.
Didn't act at Epsom either. He hung all over the place.
Yeah, and the 4th in the Achilles is for this level anyway, is very good form. So 12 to 1 for Nick for his second best. Thank you, Nick. Okay, Quentin, coming to you for your second best.
My second best bet comes in the 16-10 at Sandown. It's a horse I've had on in the tracker for a while. Aquam, Ian Williams trained 4-year-old. Made the track once last year as a 3-year-old. That was in a maiden at Newmarket, and shaped well enough under a kind ride, staying on Never Nearer. You got horses like Derab, Fireworks, Injazati, Southern Voyage amongst the first 4, and he ended up coming 6th, 3 lengths behind the 4th. They're all 90+ rated horses, and it was another year before he saw the track. Was sold in the dispersal sale by Shadwell, picked up by Ian Williams. Given a quiet time at Leicester, dropped back to 7 furlongs, patently wasn't going to suit. And then Chester, same sort of thing, 7.5 furlongs, Ben Sanderson Road, further back than ideal, steadily run race, came home very well, full of running, under chicken wings, and it's been given a mark of 78. I'm pretty sure there's a fair bit in hand off of the mark of 78 there. I think there's a lot of numbers in here that are really dead wood. You've got Forest Falcon that had the run of things in the Zetland. The 4-band seems best on the all-weather. Electrical Storm was a bit hangy at York. And at 20 to 1, I'm surprised he's probably not near half the price of that. 2 points win, 20 to 1. 16 to 1 even.
16 to 1. You're just gone as we speak. Sorry about that, Quentin. I'd love to cheat. 16, but no, I've laid big bets on you for the Naps table, so 16's for you. 2 points for Quentin at 16's Aquam. A very good case. And how is that price? I'm just looking myself. He's bred for these distances. See the stars. Jesus, how is this incredible price? Who's priced this up? Anyway, that won't be that. Trust me. Once Franks has spoken as well, so excellent, Quentin. Good second choice. That I can see that being a big steamer. Yeah, hopefully not a Cleveland one. Right. Don't look up Urban Dictionary. No, I've said that. Anyway, 2-0.
That has to go in the preamble, doesn't it?
Anyway, you'll find it interesting though if you do look up Urban Dictionary what a Cleveland steamer is. But anyway, 205 Haydock.
You've still got that as a reserved name with the BHA?
Yes, no, because I didn't pay you have to pay, don't you? If you've got it under reserve every year, and I said no.
Do you have it in a double Barnsley shop?
we should syndicate 2 horses, shouldn't we? In Cleveland Steamer and Barnsley Shop. Oh dear. Anyway, second best, 205 Haydock going against Davis, but it is a very competitive race again. A good race, really. The 3-year-old handicap at Haydock over 1.6 miles. And one that I had quite a big bet on last time. It didn't let me down. It ran a blind. Giavolotto, Marco Botti's runner, was the only one to come from off the pace at Doncaster. They went decent early, but they slowed it down dramatically mid-race, and nothing got into it, barring Giavolotto that challenged the leaders in the final furlong, and was much the best for me. That's one I should have got paid on. I didn't because of circumstances, not bitter or anything. He's gone for the hood first time, which suggests to me that he might go handier this time. Inside draw might just go handier with the hood. Maybe the worry about the horse settling. So I never like headgear changes when having a decent bet, but I'll still back this because I do believe this is a really good horse. And 10-1 available for Giavolotto, I believe. At the moment, I've got to go and find it now. 205 Haydock. Yeah, so we are looking at 10-1, bet 365 the Coates, 888 bet Victor Coral. That's my second best on the 2 points on the nose, seeking ridiculous price at 100 to 30. Absolutely ludicrous in such a competitive race. Couldn't have that on my mind at that price from the inside coffin box draw. Okay, we'll come on to Bet Max's. It's Bet Max's time. Quentin, I'm going to bounce it straight back to you for your big 3-pointer.
My big 3-pointer comes in the second last at Sandown, 16:45, and keeping it simple, stick with a shirt. I Am the Sea. Leicester, I feel we had a lot more to give here. I think Donahue kind of at the 2.5 pole thought, oh, no, I've got these all covered. Then thought Simmer at the furlong pole and ended up getting there and with the winner re-rallying. Time was strong. I'm pretty sure he's going to keep on improving and keep on rolling. I like stall 9 on the outside. If he does sling someone tonight, then Rail may play dead. The few in the race, I know the form was Frankfurt Pictorial with Dal Amelart winning the first at Haydock, but she was hanging in behind her. I've never really liked her at Nottingham. Forward Flight had the run of things in what was essentially a match at Yarmouth. Land of Eagles is tricky. One at Chepstow, but had its own way and didn't have to prove it off the bridle. There was also, I think, the second favourite fell in the race. Youthful King had the run of things at Windsor last time out. And the rest are much of a muchness. 4-1, Inform Yard, Tom Marquand up for Donahue. Should be favourite.
Indeed. 4:45, yeah, 4-1 across the board. I Am the Sea. An interesting fact for you, Quentin, did you back it last time, I Am the Sea?
I did not.
Interesting. This is terrible after time. I dutched the winner in the second, but the winner that beat it, Benjamin Bear, last time, I'm adamant Charles Bishop stopped it the time before because it went from
that the time before.
Yeah, it went from sevens. It went from sevens out to 20 on the machine, Benjamin Bear, and it got an equally very poor. I mean, we know Charles Bishop's no good anyway, but it was very average. And then lo and behold, last time against I Am the Sea, Benjamin Bear, I think it was 9 into about sort of 6.8. Yeah, it's strong in the market on Betfair. And lo and behold, it touched off I Am the Sea. So I think that's good form. So that's a good max bet from Quentin, 3 points at 4-1 there. So good start to the round. I shall kick us off with number 2 of the maxes. And we go to the Eclipse. I'm going for a 3 points max bet in the Eclipse. The more I see it, the more I think this is a rick. And I'm going for Mishriff. 3 points on the nose at 8-1. I cannot understand the odds in this. I'm scratching my head all the time. The one problem in this could be pace, where there's absolutely no out and out front runner. The lack of pacemakers they use these days might cost some of these connections some races because there is literally nothing that genuinely goes on from the front. The only two I can see probably going on are Alan Kerr, because he lacks a bit of foot, I think, and Mishriff, who in last year's Eclipse sort of sat on the leader's shoulder off a slow pace. But the difference was with Mishriff last year, he came off 2 massive efforts in the desert where I just don't. I think he was flat. He was very flat in the Eclipse. I think there's a difference this time. He had no sort of race really in Saudi Arabia where the kickback was really bad, and they decided not to persevere going to Maidan, straight back home for a summer campaign. You watch him last year in last year's international. When he slammed Alan Kerr by 6, just absolutely effortless. This horse is a genuine 125 performer. you cannot say with any certainty that any of these other runners in the race are 125 rated horses. None of them. Verdeni won a French Derby where Modern Games, in the sectionals will tell you this on France Gallup, where Modern Games had to waste a lot of burn up early in the race to get a position from a bad draw. He wouldn't beat Modern Games by 5 lengths if Modern Games had the inside draw. That bit. So that let's say he beats Modern Games with a turn of foot winning a length and a half. People go, and it's good form, but the 3-year-old form I doubt, because of Caribus in the St James's Palace, that should have got beat. And so with Native Trail, I think that casts a doubt. He does shape like he wants a mile and a quarter, never guaranteed to get it either. They won't ride him prominent. I can't see him doing that. So I think they'll probably just, sit in mid-div. I just think Mishrif, it's an insult to have that at 8-1. It's the only genuine horse that if that turns up in last year's international form at York, I would say it's a certainty. And I'll go as far as saying that if that turns up in the same form as in the international, it will win. And that 125, 8-1, massive 3 points win. Okay, so hopefully you'll see me my reasoning there and get on. I don't understand why Alenka's shorter either. No idea. But Nick, coming to you for your very best.
Right, I'm going against you in the mile handicap. Why? I mean, I've seen Trey Fleur a few times this year, and I think he's going to get a slow. I can't see it being a really strong pace, which he'll get on tomorrow either.
No,
that applies to Sinjari. I mean, a mile with the moderate gallop, I don't think it'll suit him. I mean, he's probably one of his best handicap wins was over in John Smith's over 10.5. And they've ended up in a Goodwood as well. So, they're going back this route. I'm going to take a chance with a 3-year-old. Check and Challenge. If you look at its win at Newcastle prior to the Guineas, where obviously he shat himself or something like that, you look at the ratings of the two below him. You've got Dubai Poet and Imperial Fighter. They're both solid 110, 109 courses. He came from the back and outsped them. Dubai Poet has since gone 3rd in the Jersey. Yeah. Imperial Fighter was 3rd at the Curragh. So he's a good guide stick. He's been beaten 2 or 3 lengths by Caribus as well. So you think 108? While you think, first that's a lot for a 3-year-old, it might not be, and he might be well up to these. I think he was about 5, 11.
9. He has been back 9-2 generally available.
Yeah, I just think he could be 112, 113.
Would the just playing arbiter? Would the ground worry you, Nick, at all?
No, not really. The ground wouldn't worry me. The stable's been a bit quiet. That's the thing. But if it's strong in the market and he's booked Buick, I think he would go very close there.
You're certainly right about the form. It's very, very hard to knock in what is quite an exposed looking handicap, if I may say so.
Yeah, it is an exposed handicap. I mean, I respect you with Trey Fleur, but I just think he's going to be one of those horrible gallops. I think it'll be a sort of medium gallop. And this one showed it come from behind. Off they went quite slow earlier at Newcastle, quickened it up a bit, but he went past them all.
Yeah, I think when you see Lion Tower 3rd in at 6s, I think it tells you the sort of merits of the race. Sinjari as well, at a mile, I think I saw you on social media, Nick, saying he might struggle for a pace, and dropping back over this track over a mile, I think could be a problem. So I've no if he goes on the ground check and challenge, I'm with you. So Nick's max bet 9-2 3-pointer. Good luck, Nick, with that. John, come to you to finish the round.
Nice. No pressure then. I'm actually at Nottingham in the 8 o'clock.
Okay, now we're all in bed.
I know. Those make sense, probably will be, yeah.
John's going for the glamour-tising this round, aren't you?
Yeah. I'm actually rowing in with the kilt once again. I know. It's quite an interesting horse to me, this Superstars. I made a big note on this first time up this year because I remember seeing it at the Newmarket Guineas meeting, and I thought, Christ, that's done well over the winter. But I did think he'd done too well, He was carrying quite a bit of condition, I thought. I couldn't really understand all the money for him. And he kind of ran how I expected. And I thought, well, that's all right. I'm going to keep him in mind. And then they yanked him up to 12 furlongs and took him to York. And he ran one of them York races, where they go to York and just run like shit for no apparent reason. And after that, I was quite interested in him as outsider of 3 at Salisbury, up in trip. And I was umming and ahhing whether to back him or not, and I ended up not. And I was regretting it, actually, because I thought he was travelling like he was going to win for quite a fair chunk of the race. And then, for me, he just didn't say it out. And believe it or not, I actually think the kilt's got something right here, dropping him back in trip. And this is quite a user-friendly track for somebody that's almost certain to go forward. We've got the excellent PJ up. I think it's always good to take advantage of Joe not being booked for any of these. He's up against Shirt Horse, obviously, that's pretty short in the betting. But rather like with Mr. Havlin at Gosden's, I think this particular jockey for the Shirt's another one you could have question marks over. So, and also quite significant as well, this horse is dropping in like 2 grades. He's been running class 3s and he's down to class 5, I think, tomorrow night.
Yeah.
I think he'll really benefit from this. I think he's almost certain to get a softie. And I think he's pretty good value in the context of this race.
Yeah. No. Good case.
For what it's worth, I've got some notes on the Shirt Horse. There's really not much of her. There's no size, no substance, and her form isn't all that. I think she's taking a big chunk out of the market tomorrow.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
So that's at 4-1 available, John. Generally available, 3 points on the noggin.
I'll have it with Denise, though.
No, she's 100-30.
Oh, what a bitch.
Give it to him with Denise.
Sky Bet Hills 888 Bet Victor.
This is usually the time of the year that some of the kilt horses, after getting stuffed out of sight around about Royal Ascot time, start to come alive, don't they? Or is it a thing in mind?
Yeah, we're expecting the kilt resurgence here. Win here and go to Goodwood then, can't he?
There was a runner at Hamilton the other day called Spy, and it looked a bit dead. And then all of a sudden, the application of cash came, and it wasn't dead. It was sprinting clear at the line. So whatever training methods the kilt uses, it's like we always use the phrase kilt bingo, because it literally is, you get horses just bombing out and then they pop up at 33s at Goodwood after just running shit. It is kilt bingo.
There's that 3-year-old handicap in there, the July meeting. Is it a 10 furlong, 12
Yeah.
furlong? 3-year-old handicap. He usually runs about 6 in it. And one pops up after being ups in trip for 3 furlongs or something.
Yeah,
like that.
and running shit at somewhere like Beverley, and everyone said, "How's that one at 28?" And as his bag stands rail, as Prosser's put 47 million litres on, But there we go. That's what we've got to look forward to in July, folks. Anyway, on to tomorrow's TV action, which is covering 3 at Haydock and 4 at Sandown. 205 race. Myself and Nick have tipped in this. Quentin and John, chew away all you like on this Stayers 3-year-old handicap.
Well, my first impression was, yes, Trey Fleury, the competitive racer, is going to be a nice price.
No, 205 Haydock.
Ah, right, sorry.
Wrong meeting.
Getting ahead of myself, sorry.
Yeah.
Apologies.
It's all right. Get your notes. Sea King's Fav at 7-2 for the Baron.
He looks short, doesn't he? He's won the yards hardly in Great Nick. He won I think it was one of the first all-age handicaps this season. He won it well, hands and heels, etc. He'll probably improve up in trip. But this race has depth. I was gonna probably have a a decent swing at one, but I wanted to see what the times were at Haydock tonight and see how much rain is coming. I'm just trying to pull the card. Yeah, as I said, there's lots of depth. Duty Bound was the one that probably interested me if there's soft ground. He won a weak enough race at Sandown last time out. He's got a massive knee action. He's half brother, I think, the punctuation as well. Another horse there, massive knee action. He's just got a soft ground family. I thought he'd done really well to win on genuine fast ground at Sandown for a change. Few others in the race. You got Valsad, who put up a time trial. He had a time trial at Lingfield and put up a smart performance on the clock. Things didn't really go his way at Goodwood last time out. I don't think the pace was strong enough. Harry Davis is an upgrade on Trevor Whelan. Nick's was interesting at a price. I didn't mind that form until it took some knocks with, I think Kings got beat at Newbury last night. The Stout thing got stuffed at Doncaster. Time of the race looked fine and Mark looks fine. Probably will be suited by the softer ground. But yeah, Duty Bound for me. If the times look soft, then I'm going to have a decent swing at Duty Bound.
Good stuff, John.
I nearly put one up in this race, actually. Nathaniel Green, to me, is on a workable mark, especially going up in trip. Because I thought the Musselburgh run behind Hilts was indicative of a horse that wants a little bit further anyway.
Yeah.
But another one out of that Musselburgh race that really caught me eye was Zimmerman, who again ties in with the Hilts farm and all the rest of it. Now that one went to Musselburgh off the back of a good win at Haydock on fairly soft ground. Went up to Mussey, pulled like Rolf Harris at choir practice in that race. But I think this horse still has potential of 78. If Thick Dave can get this to settle, I think this is quite a good price in relation to Nathaniel Green. Nathaniel Green's 8-1. This is 33s. And I don't have very much between them two. I think the key is to back this if it drops it early on.
You
know? If you don't drop it, you're arsehole. You know? So I would wait and see how, if he jumps into the bit and Thick Dave's fighting with him, forget it.
Yeah.
But if you can get him into a decent rhythm over the first furlong, you know, I mean, you're probably not going to get 33s, but, you know, just use your noddle. And I'd say anything around about the 20-25 mark would be all right.
Yeah, with 33 double carpet at the moment. So
yeah, I think if he settles it, he ought to be about 20-25 in the run after a furlong.
Yeah, okay. Zimmer Frame and Thick Dave for John. Just thought I'd give Gadget Man a mention with the knee action. It showed didn't handle the fast ground at Nottingham last time in a very warm maiden. I think you can ignore that. I just thought that might be interesting as well at the price if the rain came and it ended up being like quite testing. Okay, we'll move.
Ground family, that.
Yeah, is it by Jacobs? I think, and
yeah, well, I think it's a whipper mare or something, Kalisha, I think.
Yeah, I thought that was really, if the rain came, that would interest me. 240, the Lancashire Oaks, fillies and mares. Everyone loves the fillies and mares, don't we? We all go for the gin and pate and let the dog in, John.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's the thing I'd be doing, really, is betting in this. I just didn't really look at it, to be honest. I don't like these type of races. I think there's very few of these, particularly going forward. Certainly nothing I'd want to be with there.
Statistically, it's quite known as a tough race to win. You've got to come into the race pretty fresh. 3-year-olds surprisingly don't have a great record in this. They fall short of the elders. So whether that's because it can be quite attritional at Haydock if the ground goes, etc., maybe that's something to do with it. But I thought the market was about spot on with Free Wind as Fav and Eshada. I think it's whatever turns up on the day. Quentin, Nick, any of you here?
No.
Quentin?
No, nothing at all, to be honest. No, move. As I said, fillies and mares.
Move along. 3:15. Unbelievable. I never thought I'd see the day in a 18-runner Newton Cup where we'd have an half-arm chance. 6-4, Garcy. I bet
this is on the trainers, surely. I mean, the second and third of that York race have been beaten out of sight, haven't they?
Yeah, I have felt on the numbers and a lot of sectional timing and stuff that this horse is a stakes horse, and I said that before York. He were off 94, thought he did it well. They were a sectional upgrade. I still maintain he's probably somewhere between 105 and 110. But then you look at the price. I don't think I've ever seen anything as ridiculous as this at 6-4.
I wanted to forgive Trawlerman. What do you think of that ride at Ascot? He didn't really try, did he?
Non-runner Trawlerman pulled out.
I know. I wanted about that. But what did you think of the ride at Ascot? He didn't really try a lot, did he?
No.
He broke slowly and just stayed in the position and sort of jogged his arms up and down for a few strides coming in at the straight and gave it up.
I think that was it. I think he'd realised he'd no chance and didn't bother. I think that was more or less it. But I look for alternatives. Only thing that I've seen, because obviously I do think Garcia's a good horse. If you watch Jenny Candlish's It's Good to Laugh this season, it's not been off a yard. And last time out air, it was off, I think, but lovely Hans Graham Lee, he couldn't get the gap. It looks bad. He's finished 9th, but it was absolutely cantering to that. The horses just come in front of it, and good old lovely pair of hands just looked after it and did nothing. So I just thought it's Good to Laugh. I think good old Denise does a without market, without Garci, because you want to collect on the win. The problem with backing each way something, if Garci does turn up, you ending up with like 50 odds a place on something at 16. It's no good to anyone. So I think the without market on Bet365 is quite interesting, and I think the 10-1 good. It's Good to Laugh without Garci, and I thought quarter 1, 2, 3, 4 that. Then at least you've got a chance of the win part if you run up to a stakes horse in an handicap. Quentin, any thoughts?
Garci looks short, but not. I'm trying to work. I haven't priced the race fully, but gut instinct is to lay him, but trigger shy on the lane in front. To be honest, at that price, there's not a whole host of well handicapped horses in the race. You got Inch and Orr, Secret Shadow, all coming from that Goodwood race, which provided a good time. But they're dropping back in trip. I'm not sure that's going to suit. Liverpool Knight did well to win at Windsor. Get Shirty seemed well enough positioned at Ascot. I'd probably chance Raymond Tusk, to be honest, just on the basis of the price differential between him and Get Shirty. He ended up poorly positioned, well as Get Shirty was in a decent position at Ascot. Feel the price differential and the weight differential now should bring them closer together. Yeah, I think the without market is probably the place to play it, and Raymond Tusk caught the eye at a large price.
Good stuff. Yeah, and I'll also have a look at that more closely. I watched Get Shirty at Ascot, but I didn't really catch my eye to Raymond Tusk, so I'm going to watch that. John?
I thought Fancy Man had run all right.
Yeah, he goes on the ground. Well,
yeah.
If it is softer than good. Yeah,
yeah, class angle, nice draw for the type of ride he's going to get, because they're going to try and lock him away and use his speed late, obviously. I'm not compelled to bet him at 20s, but I think if I did have a better have an interest in him. Gassi being in the market at 64 makes you feel as though you want to bet, but if he turns up, he probably wins, doesn't he? So.
Yeah, I do think he's. I mean, those that have probably bet in midweek. Did anyone see any prices midweek? Was he like
5-1?
Yeah, I think if 5-1 was available, I think you sat very pretty, because that was a rick. And obviously, had the horse been even 3-1 right now, I would be tipping him, or 11-4, maybe 5-2 even. But when you get into this price, you need lady luck in races like this, because such is the size of the field.
You need selfie stick and a stake, don't you, if you're going to be tipping them?
You do. Selfie stick and stake, as blogger will probably tip that tomorrow. So
he's on at 3s.
Blogger. Yeah, with Betbull.
Good luck getting paid.
Anyway, good for that blogger. So we'll go to Sandown. 4 televised races there. Very tricky card. Mick Barhy heads the field as 11-4 favourite for the Coral Charge. Any thoughts in the Coral Charge, chaps?
Not for me.
No, you weren't a race for me.
I've had a bet in the Sandown Sprint since God's dog was a pup.
Quentin?
I likely won't have a bet. I'll run through a few bits and pieces. Mick Barhy looked impressive last time out, poor time. Doesn't look a stack of pace on. Tippy Toes was the one that interested me the most, with a stone hands on and a railish draw, but that price has kind of gone into double figures, has gone into like 15-2 now. Equilateral probably brings the best form to the table with the Royal Ascot form. I'm not going to have a bet, but there's a few bits and pieces on bits and pieces.
Yeah, I felt Mick Barhy was sort of had this full use made of him because there was a headwind last time at Sandown, and I felt getting that bit of cover definitely made him look possibly more impressive than what he should have been. Racel in great form. I'd be worried about horses like Equilateral and Method because obviously they're second off long layoffs. There's every chance. I'm not saying they will do. Equilateral, great king stand form, but there's every chance that Equilateral and Method could step backwards a little bit from them big efforts. Method, same at Salisbury in that decent listed race there, showed up for a long way over 6. I just feel it's one of them races again where it's gin and pay and you let the dog in. 225. We'll move on then. Sinjari heads the field, and myself and Nick had a good chat about this, as I've tipped Trey Floors and Nick's tip check and challenge, and both good cases, I feel. John and Quentin, any views on the Coral Challenge handicap?
Well, as I said before, when I hit the lids running earlier,
you were in trap 1 there.
Yeah, I was quite hopeful when I saw him entered in this, and then the hopes dimmed somewhat when I had a look at the pace map for this race. I thought, oh, dear God. And my only hope, really, is the terminally stupid Sam James going too fast on Lion Tower, which might happen.
Terminally stupid.
Which could happen.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of tempted to have a little bit on. If there'd been mental pace on it, I've been really confident. But as I say, I'm depending on Sam. He's never ever knowingly done me a favour. Can't physically remember the last time I backed a Grant Show trained winner with Sam on. So he probably owes me thousands. So with any luck, he'll take his brains out for a wash tomorrow and kick off about 39 miles per hour.
Yeah, that's just what the doctor ordered, I think. Quentin, views on this?
No pace on the cards, is there? I feel Trey Floor needs a pace. Maybe the Heather Main thing will go forward. Check a challenge. I've got ground doubts, Nick. By Fast Company's got quite a rounded action. Newmarket was good ground. I think he's well handicapped. He obviously caught the eye and found shitloads of trouble at HQ in the Guineas. But the ground's a massive concern for me. I think the trainer expressed similar concerns. If it was good to firm ground, then they had their eye on another sort of target, so he may well be pulled out. Sinjari looked short, doesn't he? I know he's got the flashing home and the Hunt Cup, but this isn't going to be that sort of setup. I'm probably going to have a small place lay on Sinjari. Yeah,
no form a mile round a bend as well. At Newbury, the mile form on reappearance, pretty much toilet to be 11-4. Much rather see him at a mile and a quarter. But interestingly, they've not entered him over any mile and a quarter races. He's in a race at Goodwood, I think, over a mile.
Golden Mile, isn't it?
Yeah, but they've not bothered.
Good luck. Imagine coming from way back in that, can't you?
Are you surprised, Nick, that they haven't put Sinjari, say, in Magnet Cup?
Well, no, they probably felt they couldn't. No one could beat Royal Champion in that. So, Well, they obviously want to go this route. I don't know if it's the owner or trainer related. They've started running them over a mile, and that's where they want them to go. But they need strong paces.
Must be showing more speed at the age of 6.
Yeah, I've got a feeling. I've got a feeling the owner's going to get sim-cocked. So yeah, it's staying at a mile, but there we go. Unless you run like you say, Sinjari ran in the Hunt Cup, was it? And obviously got that nice, real good pace to run at, which that's what he'd need over a mile, real good pace. And it's definitely not going to appear here. So I'd be surprised if Sinjari defies that mark held up. But anyway, we'll move on to.
Why would you want to win if your main aim can't be here? If your main aim is Goodwood, why would you? I mean, it's not that well handicapped. He's up 105. What do you get? £5 for this?
Yeah.
Would you fancy him off 110 in a golden mile?
No,
absolutely no chance.
He's more chancing the golden mile because obviously they could go strongly running that.
Yeah.
So
if you get a claimer on him there, claim a few off, might get him down to about 100. Then £10 difference and a bit of pace. Yeah.
You need to find a claimer that will get 14 off.
Get Danny Gilligan as stable jockey from Ireland, and then get the 10, get the full 10, bang. That's the bar steward's tip. Okay, 3 o'clock. Coral Distaff, Phillies listed affair. Heredia has been all the rage overnight as the overnight wallers are piling into Heredia from a best price of 5 to 4. You can still get 11 or 10, but 8 to 11 in places. Heredia. Any thoughts on this, chaps?
I was actually going to have a strong play on her at 5 to 4 if that was kicking around tomorrow. I put her in at 5 to 6. Yeah. You look at the race; there's not much depth. Skula's won an egg and spoon race at Carlisle. Probably needs softer ground at this sort of level to be shown the best effect. Lyrical Lady got a strong gallop to aim at Salisbury over 10. Queen Aminatu probably won't run rounded action, and I'm pretty sure she needs soft ground. Grand Dam hung some more at Ascot. I think you were keen on her that day.
Yeah.
And Heredia, there's not masses of pace on, but I just generally think you can put her wherever you like. She's found trouble at York, ran them down that way. Already beaten Fast Attack. I went 5 to 6. Levels is tight. If she goes out to maybe 6 to 5, then I'll step in.
Yeah, I was disappointed with Grand Dam at Ascot. I know it was a coronation, which is probably a different level to this, but still bitterly disappointed what she did off the bridle. Nick, John, any thoughts on this?
Well, when I seen this favourite win at Ascot, I was thinking they should have run it in the bloody coronation.
Yeah. Absolutely. She probably is she obviously won the handicap as 7-2 favourite at Ascot, but you can genuinely see she's.
The Cannon's comments as well in the post tonight, he's saying he's sure she's up to Falmouth class, and that looks like that would be the next stop. Well, why wouldn't it, really? I mean, I've got miles in front of these. I think if there's 11 to 10 kicking about, why not?
Yeah, you've heard it, folks. Here we go. This is it. This is our Bar Steward blogger section where we're saying lump on, chaps. Selfie stick, stakes and betting slips. By tomorrow evening, I want to see them on our Twitter feed. A stake.
Double it with Gassy.
Yeah, double with Gassy. Steak and betting slips only, please. No waffle, no chat. Just want to see a good steak. One of them restaurants where you get 3 chunky chips. You know, like where that's all you get, 3 chips. Usually in London, for about 47 quid. That's usually the Barrow, and then and a nice £47 bottle of Barolo that costs about 14 quid from a cash and carry. I want to see that on our Twitter feed with your slips, Heredia and Garcy tomorrow. So yeah,
that marrowbone gravy on the side as well. He's in lovely.
Yeah, definitely.
Best though, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so we've done the Distaff. So we go on to the big one, the Coral-Eclipse. Short on numbers, but definitely good on quality.
Isn't this a good race to be a bookmaker on this race? If you can get the favourite in under 2 to 1, there'll be money for everything, won't there?
Well,
if you were laying a book.
Yeah, there is pressure on the Fav now is 2-1 with Paddy Power and Betfair. Native Trail.
I think won't it hit 5-2 on course? Do you think?
I believe so. I mean, it's not like the French are bringing over a shed full of punters. It's like everyone that I see on Twitter are saying, "Why is Verdeni this short?" I agree on what I've seen. The only way I see Verdeni winning is possibly in a tactical affair, which it could be best turn of foot. That's viable. Do I think it's favourite on form? No. I don't think the French.
But you'd lay it as a bookmaker. You're going to lay a lot, aren't you?
You've got to
lay a lot of the runs.
You have.
There's support for everything there.
Yeah, I mean, you can make a case for Lord North. I mean, Lord North on his day at 25-1 is absolutely huge. Again, Bay Bridge, I've always liked. I've said this before. Ascot and the Prince of Wales, he got done tactically. That's all. I think that beat him. Probably very fast ground as well. I'd like to see a bit of rain in a slowly run race over 10 for him, because I don't think a slowly run race over 10 suits him. I think a better pace would. Native Trail, how are they going to ride that? I don't know. Is the 3-year-old form up to scratch? We're still not. The jury's out, because, as we said, if Maljoom gets a clear run in the St James's Palace, Caribus hasn't even followed up the Guineas win. So it's a tough one. Thoughts, chaps? Quentin, John.
I think if you're going to have a bet, I don't think you can look past Mishra.
At the prices, that's why I've gone for it. Not because I think it's a good thing, or because it is a quality race. If it's right, John, it has to be shorter. And
yeah, totally right.
Slim and 30. I read the comments about 4 days ago, and they said everything's gone perfect with its preparation. So I see no reason for him to lie. It's just why. It's a definite 125 animal. With the rest, the jury's out. Are the 125 horses in there? I don't know.
Not for me. I mean, I think that there are plenty to prove. I mean, I haven't got a Lincoln up in 120 yet. I've got Bay Bridge possibly at 120 last time. The 2 3-year-olds, jury's out, and I cannot for the life of me see Sauvignon going handy on Verdeni. I think he's 4 to 5 to sit last tomorrow.
Well, they do ride Chile. I mean, he didn't in the French Derby because he made more use of the draw. But he sat sort of 4th or 5th on the inside.
Yeah. Off that draw, it'd have been suicide, wouldn't it? But
yeah.
I cannot for the life of me seeing him having anybody behind him early on tomorrow. I think that he's a really risky proposition if there's no pace on, because I think he's going to be in the worst place possible to do anything.
Yeah. And
I think Mishra's straightforward. He can put him where he wants in a race. He showed plenty at York last year.
On the York run, he's favourite in this.
Hugely impressive. 9-1. If you're going to bet anything, you've got to bet that. Otherwise, you want your brains out, really.
Yeah, I mean, I said 8, so I've got 8 at the time of recording, but he's drifted to 9 since. But I'm gonna have to play big on these sort of prices, because it's just wrong. It's miles out. Simple as it. People have got short memories. Clearly, that run at York last year with the time and the sectional time as well to boot, got a £12 upgrade for winning that the way he quickened.
The only thing is, if he does win, he's going to come into stone cold silence, isn't he? Because nobody wants Powder and Slim to win anything at the minute.
No.
Everybody hates him.
Lydia might, though. I'm racing UK. She gets a bit wet when she's interviewing Gosden, I think. I think she likes Johnny G. Quentin, thoughts on this?
I'm going to keep it simple. Wait for Brian Gleeson for him to tell me who the professionals are backing and follow them in. That's the way to do it, isn't it? No need to do any work. Just follow the professionals.
Yeah.
In all seriousness, it's such a shame that pacemakers have gone out the window nowadays. They were in a few years ago, and then people seem to think they weren't. Horses run on their merits, and it's kind of ruined the race a bit. You'd like this race just run an honest gallop rather than second guessing who's going to go on. for what it's worth, I think Alan Carr will go on. I'm with you. I think Mishriff is the bet. Native Trail, I'm not sure the trip will suit, especially in a potentially steadily-ish run race. Baybridge, I mentioned the ground outs at Royal Ascot. They played out. He didn't look comfortable on fast ground. Again, we don't know what Cooper's doing in regards to the ground. Good to firm ground, I'll be concerned. He doesn't move like the firm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he'll stick some on, but it's the fourth race, so we got time to work out what the ground is actually. If he puts too much on, it's good to soft. Then I'll probably play Baybridge and Mishriff. Darney, he won. Yeah, he was uber impressive. But what did he beat? Modern Games, first try at 10 furlongs, used up petrol from a wide draw, had shape like 10 would suit, didn't get home, and El Bogadon, who's just a slot monster. So jury's out on that form, and at 220 looks short enough until he proves he can do it again. Mishriff's the play for me at the moment. I'm going to wait and sit on my hands until probably after the handicap, and then assess what the ground is. But Mishriff, team Keith.
Good stuff. Let's up for a big 3-pointer. Put you further behind in the naps table, Quentin.
I'll take that.
Right. That's it. We've covered it all. We've done a good job. We've given you some massive prices. Don't forget also there's the Grand Prix de Saint Cloud. Is it on Sunday? I think the Group 1 Hurricane Lane is bidding to get back on track there after his sort of half can't be arsed reappearance. The softer ground will help him in that, so that'll be interesting watching on Sunday. We're back on Sunday, me, John, and Lorne Malvo, Chris, to discuss some very hot topics this week. Lots to discuss, actually. And there'll be some ranting, plenty of ranting, gin-fueled as always. So thanks for listening. Me, John, Nick, and Quentin signing out. Bye for now.